EPA fires staffer who approved report downplaying threats to Scott Pruitt. A career staffer at the Environmental Protection Agency who approved an internal report on threats against Scott Pruitt was removed Tuesday amid criticism of the high level of security spending by the agency's administrator. Mario Caraballo, the former Deputy Associate Administrator of the EPA's Office of Homeland Security, had signed off on a February 14 security assessment that said, EPA Intelligence has not identified any specific, credible, direct threat to the EPA administrator. Caraballo was fired shortly after Senate Democrats cited the assessment as evidence that the $3 million reportedly spent on Pruitt's security in response to perceived death threats was unwarranted. The EPA said the timing was a coincidence. An unnamed source told Politico that the EPA claimed Caraballo was fired in relation to a decade-old issue for a previous military job he held. I am not aware of any connection between the personnel matter and the document mentioned in media reports, EPA official Donovan said in a statement. Democrats on the Senate Environment and Public Works Committee wrote in a letter Tuesday that after reviewing the February 14 security assessment and other documents they found the purported threats against Pruitt consisted of public protests, criticism of Pruitt's policies and other activities protected by the First Amendment. More, ex-EPA Chief Whitman says no need for Scott Pruitt's spending on security, travel more. EPA Administrator Scott Pruitt's ethical challenges piling up in the letter. Sends. Tom Carper of Delaware and Sheldon Whitehouse of Rhode Island said the committee should immediately initiate bipartisan oversight hearings into the extent and justification of Pruitt's security spending. Committee Chairman John Barrasso, R. Wyoming, denied the request and chastised the Democratic senators for disclosing law enforcement-sensitive information. The Democratic senators called Caraballo's firing deeply troubling. This development underscores the need for the Environment and Public Works Committee to conduct effective oversight of the EPA to answer the serious questions that have come to light in recent days concerning management and ethical conduct by the administrator and his staff, Carper and Whitehouse said in a joint statement. The Associated Press reported last week that Pruitt keeps a 20-member full-time security detail, 3 times the size of his predecessor, and he has used security concerns as a justification for his first-class travel. EPA spokesman Johann Wilcox has cited an unprecedented amount of death threats against Pruitt and his family as justification for the high levels of security. But, according to Carper and Whitehouse, the threats included reports of nonviolent protests and negative feedback about the administrator's actions. More, Scott Pruitt critics nitpick EPA administrator. GOP senator says more, President Trump gives embattled EPA Administrator Scott Pruitt a thumbs up. For example, the senators said that among the threats against Pruitt listed in an October 17 internal EPA memo were, a nationwide search of state and federal court records by app found no case where anyone has been arrested or charged with making violent threats against Pruitt. The security spending is just one scandal plaguing President Trump's beleaguered EPA head. Pruitt is the subject of at least 5 ongoing probes into spending and ethics issues by the agency's watchdog, and a House Oversight Committee is looking into his $50 a night Capitol Hill condo rental from a fossil fuels lobbyist. Contributing, The Associated Press.